And good afternoon. Welcome to Today at the Races, presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter. Tim Tulloch back on set with me. We missed you last week. Hopefully you had a nice summer vacation. Welcome back. We have a nice rainbow pick six carryover waiting for you today.
Oh, that was great to come back to a nice just over $33,000 pick six carryover. Stronach 5 tomorrow, big day Saturday, so I'm ready to get back into the action.
And there's the number. That'll start race 4 today on the big 9-race program to kick off the final 4-day race weekend of this big summer meet. There's the carryover, $33,235. So, Tim, you have a ticket for it. That starts in race 4. You can study all of our tickets. I have tickets for both pick 5s. You also have a ticket for the early pick 4. All of our tickets and our picks for today and tomorrow up on the website, laurelpark.com, right underneath the handicapping section. A bunch of good press releases went out yesterday about the big weekend we have coming up. We'll get to that, but real quick, Stronach 5 days tomorrow. That popular national wager will start right here at Laurel Park. $100,000 guarantee, industry low, 12% takeout on the Stronach 5. Let's show you the lineup of races. We welcome back Golden Gate Fields to the mix, but we'll kick it off right here at Laurel Park with race 8, then Laurel Park race 9, then down to Gulfstream Park race 8, then out to Golden Gate Fields for their 4th race, then we wrap it up leg E, Gulfstream Park race 10. So that'll be a fun, popular national sequence for the big Stronach 5. That's tomorrow, starts Laurel Park race 8. So let's get back to Saturday. Couple nice press releases out about Maryland Pride Day coming up this Saturday. It's going to be a monster super Saturday. Just Howard, he's in the entries. Monte Krista, you can read all about him, laurelpark.com underneath the news section. But yeah, 4 Maryland bred stakes, the Star Asker, the Miss Disco, the All Brandy, the Fine Stakes, some of the best Maryland breds around, Tim. This day kind of a big precursor to the big Maryland's Day at the Races, Maryland Million Day this October, but Maryland Pride Day going to be a big day Saturday.
Oh, it will be a big day, and people will come out, and there's some nice races, some good betting events, 12-race card, action all day. It'll be a big, fun day here at Laurel Park.
You have the Maryland Pride Market. You're going to have live music, pony rides, a petting zoo for the kids. Also a popular T-shirt giveaway. We have another board. There we go. The Maryland Pride Day T-shirt giveaway. That's a snazzy-looking performance T-shirt giveaway. All you have to do is buy a program. Of course, you're going to want to buy a program for Big Maryland Pride Day. Cash on some winners and get a nice Maryland Jockey Club T-shirt giveaway. So that's this Saturday. Also this Saturday, to make the day even bigger, Tim, our popular Champions Handicapping Tournament, 33,000 guaranteed in prizes. It's also a qualifying tournament for some of the big ones, the NHC, the Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge, the big one. You can sign up online right now, laurelpark.com/champions. You can walk up. It's going to be in the sports bar. This is always a very popular handicapping tournament. What a great day to have it on with the big 12-race card we're going to have, including those 4 stakes.
No question. Everyone's going to have a good variety of races to choose from with some nice fields. And, there are a couple horses that look pretty tough that could be a sure win. There's never a sure win, but certainly. I mean, Just Outward looks very, very good in that spot, and a couple others. But it should be a great day.
All right, so that's this Saturday. More about it online, laurelpark.com. Also this Saturday, the final Saturday of the Beat the Heat handicapping tournament. That's a guaranteed $500 each week. The Maryland Jockey Club puts up $500 cash money. The winner's been taking home over $600 each week. It's only a $10 entry fee, and all the entry fee money goes towards the prize. So go to guest services, first floor of the clubhouse, or go online, laurelpark.com. Final Saturday, this Saturday, for the Beat the Heat. Best crab feast of the summertime's coming up. The Kraken Crab Feast, Saturday, September 7th. Tim, you're a Maryland guy now. This is a good deal. $60 all you can eat crabs, and these are going to be heavies. the heavy Maryland steamed crabs here for the Kraken Crab Feast.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I've already put in for vacation day on September 7th, so you might have to find another partner. But
you can bring us some crabs.
Yeah,
up
I'll
here
bring
on
you a
set.
pile of crabs. We'll put it up here on the set. But yeah, that's going to be a great day. It's going to be busy, and I look forward to. We're just getting back from our little break here during the summer, so the racing should be good. The horses will be fresh, and the crabs will most definitely be fresh.
It's a great time of year for steamed crabs here in Maryland. You also get a souvenir Laurel Park crab mallet, so learn more about that online and get tickets now for the Kraken Crab Feast September 7th. Let's get right to it. Let's show you a picture of both tracks today. The main track is fast, and we're on the all along in the Dahlia turf courses today. We'll start the turf at good. We're in the 80s, a little cloud cover we have today. Not too hot, not too humid. Nice day for live horse racing to kick off the big final summer meet. Big news last weekend. Trevor McCarthy was out of town for a couple days. The bug rider, the 5-pound bug rider, Julio Correa, he had a 3-win day, he had a 2-win day. He's now your leading rider going into the final week of the big summer meet.
Yeah, he was commenting before I went off on vacation that this could become an interesting race for the leading rider at our summer meet with Julio Correa just picking up some wins. And you know, in Trevor's defense, he spends a bit of time out of town,
sure.
And it gives Correa some opportunities. But it still will be fun to the end, and I can't wait to see it play out.
All right, let's get right to it here. Race 1's going to kick off the rolling super high 5. That's a low 15% takeout. We have it every race with 7 or more horses, so keep your eye on that throughout the day. Also, race 1 kicks off the popular early pick 5. It's a mandatory payout on this early pick 5. Industry low, 12% takeout. I have a ticket. Let's check it out. $36 early pick 5 ticket. I go 4 deep here in race 1. A nice group of maiden special weight 2-year-old fillies going 6 furlongs on the main track. We'll have a heavy favorite here, the 6 Wonder City. Probably be a heavy favorite, McCarthy, aboard for trainer Cal Lynch. But you have the Hall of Famer Shug McGahee in here. That horse taking a little early play, the 3 Fashion Rules. So I'll go 4 deep in race 1, the 2, 3, 5, 6. My single on this early pick 5 ticket comes in race 3. The 3 Firth is getting a nice class relief today for trainer Lacey Gaudette and jockey Joan Rosado, going a mile on the all-along turf course, claiming 16,000, I think, on the drop today. The 3 Firth wakes up and runs a big race, so I'll key on her there in race 3, and I have some good coverage in the other races. Let's take a look here at race 1, see if I can get live here in the opener. A nice group of maiden special weight 2-year-old fillies going 6 furlongs on the main track. You have some talented Fair Hill shippers, a Park shipper from the John Service Barn. But let's start with the 6. We both picked the 6 on top here, Wonder City. Trainer Cal Lynch, he's locked and loaded with some nice 2-year-olds this year. They go to the sales. They do a nice job getting them at the sales. They paid $75,000 for this filly by City Zip. They paid $75,000 for it at the OBS back in April. A nice full work tab here at Laurel Park. Cal Lynch, 27% and a positive ROI with first-time starters. He has big stats overall with 2-year-olds and big stats for the summer meet. He's 41% this summer meet. He's 32% with Trevor McCarthy. So the 6 Wonder City is going to take a lot of, I know the early money, just a couple early bucks going to the 2 Bernadette the Jet. The Motion American Pharaoh filly is going to take play, but I'd be awfully surprised if the 6 Wonder City doesn't end up your strong favorite here in the opener.
Well, Cal Lynch is just having a great summer and a great year, and Cal Lynch was one of the interesting guys who's pretty new here to Maryland within the last 4 years, and we've seen guys come into Maryland, and they're hitting at 16-17%, and they hit the road. They're back on 95 north or south. Right. They don't hang around. Cal Lynch has hung around, and it has paid off. He's got himself a good stable together. He runs a top-notch operation, and it's showing now 41%, as you mentioned, this summer, and his 2-year-olds have been running holes in the wind. This one's been working lights out of a nice mare. Styx Wonder Girl was 3 for 6 and a stakes winner. This filly by City Zip's cut out to be a pretty nice one, and I would be surprised if she stays out of the winner's circle. Of course, being a first-time starter, she's going to have to get away. There's a lot of factors, but this one looks like it's cut out to win, and cut out to win now.
All right, so she's 5-2 morning line. Your actual 2-1 morning line favorite here. I was wrong. The 5, Shiza, is going to take a lot of play. You have that filly in your exacta, the John Service shipper. This filly's by Cairo Prince. Service, he's 20%. He has strong stats up and down the board with first-time starters and 2-year-olds. You get Vargas and Service all awfully strong together. So the 5, Shiza, is going to vie for phaser. It's going to be between the 5 and the 6 here for favoritism in the opener.
Yeah, and working well, Shiza is. No works over a half mile, but they've been some good, sharp half miles. You have to respect the connections. The mare only ran one time. The second dam only ran a couple, or was unraced. So we've got a few dams in this family that just simply didn't make it to the races, but they are very well bred. This one's by AP in November, the dam. But look, you've got to respect the connections. His horses usually come pretty ready, and he wins 20% of the time with his first-time starters.
I use the Hall of Famer Shug McGay. He brings a filly down from Fair Hill, a 2-year-old filly by Constitution. They paid almost $200,000 for her as a yearling at Keeneland. Now she hadn't been doesn't show up with too many works up there from Fair Hill, but I'll trust the Hall of Famer has her ready. Forrest Boyce will ride. Boyce been the go-to rider here in Maryland for McGahee. They're 23% and a big, strong, positive ROI. So they paid a bunch of money for this filly as a yearling. Let's see how she does here, shipping from Fair Hill, the 3 Fashion Rules.
Well, she's certainly going to have to run to her breeding and outrun her works. Her works have been a little slow, nothing over 5/8. The best half mile is 50 and change, is going to have to be faster. I'm interested in the 2 Bernadette the Jet by American Pharoah. Made her first start on the turf by American Pharoah out of a St. Bellato mare. And I know the American Pharoahs have been running very, very well on the turf, but this one's not necessarily cut out bleeding grass with that particular breeding. So I'm excited to see Bernadette the Jet, second time for Graham Notion. We know that can be very, very tough. First time on the main track, picks up Weston Hamilton for the second time.
All right, so nice group of maiden special weight 2-year-old fillies here in race 1 to kick off the early pick 5. Let's turn the page here. You like the early pick 4 today. That starts in race 2. Let's check out your ticket and see how you played it.
I do, an $18 ticket, and I go 3 deep in the second using the 3, 6, and 8. You singled in the third on your early pick 5, but I thought there were a couple others in there that makes me nervous, including Mary Epler's horse coming off a layoff on the outside, the 10. In the fourth, I used 2 of them, the 4 and the 9, and in the fifth, I used the 5 and 7. $18 ticket on your early pick 4.
Let's take a look here. Race 2, we're going 5.5 furlongs on the main track. Maiden claiming $10,000 for filly mares 3 and up. The 3, Shack for Love, for trainer Mike Trombetta, a 3-year-old daughter of Preakness winner Shackelford. I thought she ran a decent second on maybe the muddy track moved her up early May right here at Laurel Park against Maiden 16,000. That was a good second in her second career. Started at 13-1. She beat a filly in there by the name of Foggy Dreams, who's come back and done pretty well. She's won a starter allowance 2 life, so she beat a nice filly there. And then she bounced as the favored against Maiden 16,000 at Pimlico late May. So Trombetta, he's given her some time off since then, freshen her up. She's been working here at Laurel Park. Kevin Gomez back aboard today. He was aboard for that good second back on May 3rd. So I'll one more shot here for the 3, Shack for Love.
Yeah, I've got her at the bottom. Excuse me, I don't have her at all. I don't use her at all. Excuse me, I was looking at a different horse. However, I think this is the right move going to the maiden 10, coming off that little bit of a layoff. I think the mud probably did move this one up a little bit by Shackelford out of a Not for Love mare, cut out to handle the off going pretty well. So I gave this one a pass off the layoff. It's working okay for return, good enough for this level, but I gave Shack for Love for Mike Trombetta, who's having a nice year himself, a pass here.
All right, we both like the 8-3 to get ready from the Hammy Smith barn. We have a video spotlight of this filly's debut August 1st on the turf right here at Laurel Park. Here we go.
Yeah, this filly ran a pretty decent race this day. This was her first time out. Ashley Castrengi was riding and gets Georgie Vargas today. And I think that's a positive rider change for sure. You'll see late in the stretch, she gets angled out really wide here, out into the middle of the course. And, nothing against Ashley Castrongi, but you're just simply getting a more current rider here for 3 to get ready. I made 3 to get ready my best bet of the day. I like the move back to the main track here by straight talking out of an in-case mare. Again, doesn't bleed turf. I think this one moves up on the main track for Hammy Smith, second time out of the box.
All right, so yeah, she finished with interest there. Good finish, good video there. Now she takes a drop, tries dirt today, and you're right. Nice rider change. One of our leading riders, Georgie Vargas Jr. So we both like the 8. 3 to get ready. We both like the 6 as well here. Sugar Bee, Babs and Boots for her leading trainer, Claudio Gonzalez, a 4-year-old daughter of Bodie Meister. She's won a couple decent races. Good second way back in December of 2017 when she was a 2-year-old, and then she came back this year as a 4-year-old, late July at Parks, a good second up there against Maiden 10. Now they're right back in against Maiden 10. So she's done nothing wrong, and she figures to improve once again today.
Yeah, second off a layoff for Claudio Gonzalez, and he wins about 23% of the time, 26% of the time, second off this type of layoff. So you expect Sugar Bee, Babs, and Boots to move forward here today under Katie Davis. Gets a veteran Katie Davis, Bug Boy, in his last start up there at Parks. And look, been working at Delaware. Parks can be a little bit of a funny racetrack. Gets her Laurel. Might appreciate just getting onto the Laurel surface also.
All right, we both used the 9 Silver Sides back to the main track today, dropping the maiden 10,000. That's the cheapest this filly's been in for. 3-year-old daughter of Bandbox for Mike Giralis and owner Mark Lapidus. Forest Boys will ride it. She's kind of off form right now on the turfs, and so they're trying to get her back in good form. And at this level, they're doing the right thing here to try to get her back in good form.
Yeah, no question. I mean, Silver Size is just this type of filly who just keeps hanging around. It doesn't matter whether she runs on the turf or the dirt. She just hangs around. She's close. She's not close enough. But if you look at her trouble line, she hardly ever gets a clean trip, some sort of clean trip. She either finds herself in trouble, gets herself in trouble, or she doesn't get away from the gate. So a clean trip would certainly help Silver Sides here taking the drop and getting back on the dirt.
She was a money burner earlier this year, a 4-time beaten favorite. She'll take play once again today here in the second. All right, let's turn the page here. We get onto the turf here in race 3. Nice big field going a mile on the all-along turf course. No rail setting on the all-along. We'll start the turf at good here for race 3. Claiming 16,000 filly mares 3 and up. Never won 3 or straight 3-year-old fillies are the conditions. We both have the 3 on top. Firth for trainer Lacey Gaudette, and I think she's getting a nice drop today. She didn't run very well last out. That was against tougher 25,000 starter allowance company, or 2 races before that were pretty good. So not sure what happened last out, but now a drop in for the 16,000. That'll help. We both have the 3. She'll get a nice ground-saving trip on the inside. She'll probably be forwardly placed once again today.
Well, certainly a good draw. I think what happened last time is she just simply didn't get a clear, easy lead. She was dueled on the front end in her last start, and then she backed up. Her 2 previous starts, which were big efforts, even though she didn't win, she hung in there, and she got clear, easy leads, both in that May 26th race and that June 30th race at Pimlico and Laurel. So drawing toward the inside, I think Rosado will send this one right out there. Getting the class relief, getting a firm turf course once again should be enough for Firth. I almost singled this horse on my early pick 4. I almost made this horse my best bet of the day. But Mary Epler's horse on the outside, the 10, Liberal, coming in off a layoff from Gulfstream Park, back up here at Pimlico, has been running some good numbers in the past. Probably a lateral move from the races she's been running at Gulfstream here today. But Mary's quite good coming off this layoff, and Mary's been hanging around here, and her horses have been picking up. So I was a little bit of afraid of Liberal. Make the rider Javion Toledo on the 10 Liberal also.
All right, so I like the 10. We both like the 1. Long shot, neither one of us used, but we have a video spotlight on the 8, Da Philly. Let's show you the video from last December down at Gulfstream against a tough 35,000 starter allowance. Here's the start. I believe we're going to see it again, right? Can we see it again? No, just the one time. Okay, well, you saw the start there, and she gets in trouble pretty much the whole trip in this race last December at Gulfstream. Again,
But-
this was against the 35,000 starter allowance company.
Yeah, well, you see her on the fence there in the red colors, the 6-horse, and she gets stopped pretty well there into the turn, and sometimes that just sets the tone. Now she rushes up on the rail again, and she's, when you're down on the fence there, you're simply going to run in trouble, especially with a filly who's looking to be a little bit aggressive as she was down there at Gulfstream Park that particular day. But coming in here with a good effort on the main track for now, there's a 2 lifetime for a nickel, steps up here today, gets on the grass. Look, she should be able to handle the grass. She's by Gio Ponte out of an Orientate mare, but she's 0 for 4 on the turf. Hasn't even hit the board, a decent number there, but is certainly going to have to run better than she has previously.
And Sal Ramirez, a new young trainer around here in Maryland. He's an assistant trainer for Mary Epler at Pimlico. He's had a couple nice wins with horses he's claimed. He puts the blinkers on this filly. Rosario Montanez will ride. She got a 66 by her in that race we showed you from last December. So the $8 filly, an interesting 12-1 long shot here in race 3. Let's get a quick commercial break. Over 33,000 in today's Rainbow Pick 6 carryover. Tim has a ticket. We'll check it out right after this.
Join us for Jim McKay Maryland Million Day on Saturday, October 19th at Laurel Park. Come with friends and family to Maryland's Day at the Races, a celebration of Maryland's horses and lots of fun for all ages. Enjoy a full day of racing, including on-track entertainment between races. Don't miss the hat contest, 3 categories and wonderful prizes. It'll be fun for all at Laurel Park, Saturday, October 19th. For more information, visit MarylandMillion.com or LaurelPark.com.
All right, welcome back. A bunch of big fields today on our world-class turf course, and race 4 is one of them as we kick off the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. There's the carryover. Nice big number to get you going this week, $33,235. This will be well played today. It'll be well over $40,000 when it's all said and done. Will we have some live singles for a big payday going into race 9? We'll see. Tim, you have a ticket. Let's check it out, see how you played it today.
Yeah, I rested my pick 6 brain while I was on a little bit of vacation, but came back here and a $64.80 ticket. I go 3 deep in the 4th using the 2, 4, and 9, 3 deep again in the 5th. I spread out. I had a single. The single introduced scratched in the 6th, so I ended up going using the 11 and 12 in the 6th, 2, 6, 7 in the 7th, 1, 4 in the 8th, 1, 4, 8 in the $9, $64.80 ticket. If you can spread a little bit, there's a couple of these races where I wanted to go 4 deep, just couldn't afford to do it, including the 4th and the 5th.
All right, well, good luck then. They got me last Saturday. I took a big swing, got knocked out in the first leg. Weston Hamilton on the front end with Naomi, a $20 horse that kicked me out. But you get a $20 horse and then maybe another $14 horse, and then you might have some live singles going into the final race. So good luck. Race 4 also kicks off the middle pick 4. We're on the turf, going a mile on the Dahlia turf course, rail at 52 feet. Maiden claiming $16,000 for filly mares 3 and up. Let's start with the 8. My top pick here, I go with the 8, Sweet Sandoval. Make the rider Trevor McCarthy. Trevor McCarthy rides the 8, Sweet Sandoval, for trainer Ricky Hendricks, a 3-year-old filly by Awesome Patriot. The debut, not bad, late June at Delaware, going a mile turf, maiden $16,000. She snuck away at 10-1 that day, but a decent, useful 3rd. Now she comes back at the same level, first-time Lasix, blinkers on. You get a top rider like McCarthy, so lots to like, I think, about the 8, Sweet Sandoval here.
Well, certainly plenty to like. The addition of blinkers, where she came up the inside in her last race, and that was a pretty good move without the blinkers. Maybe the blinkers make her a little bit sharper. Maybe she lays a little bit closer. Not that she was that far out of it early in that other race in her last or only start at Delaware Park. Ran an okay number for this group, but we've seen, I use this filly, but we've seen where these races from Delaware Park aren't transferring here to Laurel Park. So I use her. You have to respect Ricky Hendricks. He's having a nice year, winning 20% first-time blinkers. You have to give this one some consideration. So I certainly didn't leave her off, but it's not my top pick.
All right, we both like the 9 here. You have the 9 on top. Clover bottom with the 7-pound apprentice, Avery Wisman, who's having a nice summer meet. He's been doing well riding for Ann Merriman. This is a 3-year-old filly by Mineshaft, and a real good second Delaware 2 starts ago, and then kind of maybe bounced last out here at Laurel Park.
Well, I think she just gets back. This would be a much better distance, this two-turn mile here. That's a two-turn 7.5 at Laurel Park that she ran 2 starts ago, and she ran a decent number. But 3 starts ago, going 5.5 furlongs, which I'm not sure is her best distance because she does tend to get a little bit outrun. She ran a big number here in a 52 for this group at Laurel Park for the maiden 25,000. Now, this is the first time she's going to run for the maiden 16 here at Laurel, and not bad in her last race, getting beat 6 lengths going 5.5. But I think the mile is going to make all the difference for Clover Bottom and getting a nice lightweight assignment at 113 pounds.
All right, and we both used the 5 Pigeon Creek. We have a video spotlight to show you from June 9th right here at Laurel Park. The 4 coming out of the 4 hole. Look at the start here. Not very good. That's not good. That never helps. Got squeezed at the start. The 4, okay, we're going to see it again from the 4 hole. Okay, right there, gets squeezed and checked, and now trails the field early on. So that never helps. So not a good trip for the turf debut for this filly last out. But she overcame that. Okay, here we come, turning for home. She's the 4. Right? Is that her on the outside flying?
Yep, that's her on the outside. And I like this filly that particular day. It was her first time on the turf. She'll be taking it on turf the second time. The break is going to be important. She got squeezed. Yes, the horse on the outside of her came in, but she gave up that space. You've got to break with the field. Don't give up space. If she doesn't give up the space early, she just gets bumped around a little bit and maybe not squeezed back. So the break will be important. But I like this one second time on the grass for Kenny Decker. She ran a lifetime best race in her last start, first time on the turf, second time today. I think there's plenty to appreciate with Pigeon Creek today, and Julian Pimentel picks up the mount.
Yeah, we get a live rider and a good-looking turf debut. We just showed you there the 5 Pigeon Creek live here in race 4 to kick off the Rainbow Pick 6. Let's turn the page here. I like the late pick 5. No carryover today. They hit it for a little over 600 last Sunday, but as always, that industry low 12% takeout on all the pick 5s around here at Laurel Park. Let's check out my late pick 5 ticket. $48 ticket. I go 4 deep in race 5. That's a maiden 25,000 for 2-year-old fillies. Going 5.5. I used the 1, 4, 5, 7. Race 6. The 2 introduced. 2-1 morning line favored in race 6. My best bet of the day, scratched. Race 6, scratch. The 2 introduced. So I end up going 4 deep in there with the 1, 4, 11, 12. My single on this ticket, my price play of the day, because the 9 in race 8, the 9-5 morning line favored the 4 Spartiatus, coming off a layoff on the drop, first off the claim. So maybe some red flags there, maybe a suspect favored in race 8. So I single on the 11 Cash Exchange, 8-1 for trainer Kieran McGee. A nice win last out against Nickel 3 Life. Now trying Nickel 4 Life today. Rosario Montanez will ride. I like the 11 Cash Exchange in race 8, and I used the 1-4 in the 9th race. Let's take a look here at race 5. Race 5, we're going 5.5 furlongs on the main track. Maiden claiming 25,000 for 2-year-old fillies, so it's wide open. The 7 Landing Zone. The 6-5 morning line favorite here for trainer Linda Albert, a 2-year-old filly by morning line. She hasn't run a bad race. She ran 3 good races in the Farrier barn, 2 seconds and a third. She was second last out when dropping the maiden 16,000. She got a good. She was 3 in front, turning for home. I was going 5 furlongs, so you wonder maybe is she distance limited? Can she get the 5.5? Linda Albert does a nice job. She gets Toledo to stay aboard this filly. She's versatile. She can rally from off the pace, or she has enough speed to go to the front. I think her outside draw today is going to help her. So I go with the favorite on top here, Landing Zone.
Yeah, I like her. She's in my exacta, but you drop from 40 to the maiden 16, and you're just over 2-1. You're supposed to win, and she didn't win. And now she steps back up to the maiden 25 off the claim. I agree with you. The outside draw should help, but she drew outside last time, and that didn't help, and she simply got late, and now she's got to go an extra half furlong. I like her. She's in my exact. I just went elsewhere here, and I went to the 5 Truly Red for Jamie Ness. This will be a third time out of the box. He's very, very good with his 2-year-olds. Her 2 starts have been good, positive efforts, and I expect her to improve today, getting Lasix for the first time, and maybe a little bit better trip under Trevor McCarthy, who likes the inside portion of the racetrack, spends a lot of time down there. A lot of times it works, sometimes it doesn't. However, this one has been wide, and her 2 starts, a little bit better trip for Jamie Ness and Trevor, and that could be the trick for Truly Red.
All right, so 7-5-5-7 for the exacta. We both like the 1, Kalo's Vision. First-time starter from the Hammy Smith barn. It's a 2-year-old filly by Painter. And we haven't talked about the leading rider that much yet, but the 5-pound Bug Boy Julio Correa, the leading rider going into this final week of the summer meet. So he takes the call here on the 1. She has some okay works here at Laurel Park. A nice 101 going 5 furlongs July 31st here at Laurel Park. A decent gate work before that. So that's a good enough works for this level, and she gets the leading rider, and which means you're getting 5 pounds off because he's a bug rider.
Yeah, certainly, and that July 31st work is the highlight of her work tab, no question about it. That's a good 5/8 for a young filly here at Laurel Park. Draws the rail, which is always a bit of a concern, but you're absolutely right. Well spotted in for the maiden 25. Must get away. If she doesn't get away, if she's got any run in her at all, Julio Correa is going to have to work out some sort of trip, but he's been doing that a lot often, so not to worry if Kalo's Vision has a decent trip.
And the 4 Olives Bumper rider change on the 4 Olives Bumper make the rider Victor Rosales for our leading trainer Claudio Gonzalez. This filly by Bourbon Courage, she hasn't done any running yet. A couple disastrous performances. Well, not disaster, just not good, non-inspiring performances, shall we say. She's gotten beaten double digits in both starts from maiden 40, now a drop to the maiden 25. Is it enough of a drop? That's the question.
Well, it could be enough of a drop. It all comes down to how she breaks. She needs to get away. Rosales and Gonzalez, they've been doing some good stuff here this summer. So Rosales picks up the call here today. Going to have to do better, no question about it. But we've seen Claudio Gonzalez horses turn around before. This could be one of them.
All right, let's turn the page here. Nice allowance race in race 6 to kick off the late pick 4. We're on the turf. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the Dahlia turf course. Rail at 52 feet. Nice first level allowance. Filly mares 3 and up, and big late scratch here. The 2-1 morning line favored in race 6. The 2 introduced is scratched. So we both end up on the 12 here. How about that? We both end up on the 12, Glittering Judy with the leading rider, Correa, aboard for Bill Comlow. This 4-year-old daughter of Cantheros in very good form. Her last 2 have been very sharp at this level. Allowance sprinting on the turf right here at Laurel. She was in front by, a length and a half turning for home last out. Just got beat 3/4 of a length, but ran near a lifetime best 75 by her speed figure. So she'll be able to dictate she'll have something to say about the early pace. She doesn't want to go right to the front. I think Correa wants to be breaking sharp with her, wants to break sharp and hopefully sit second or third on the outside.
Yeah, absolutely. Introduced has been re-entered into a stake on Saturday, so we'll see Introduced on Saturday on the main track. By the way. But look, Glittering Judy over her last 3 races has been running very, very well in a real big race in her last, where she ran behind Something Magical, only getting beat 3/4 of a length. She's had a sharp work since that last race, 10th of August, 5/8 of a mile, and a minute and 4/5, and Correa returned. So I think she can run back to any 2 of her last 3 races, and that'll be good enough to get it done here today.
Yeah, they weren't messing around with that work, were they?
No, they want to put a little gas in her.
Yep.
Glittering Judy need a little gas.
All right, so she's sitting on go. We both have the 12 on top. We both have a cold 12-11 exacta. The 11 Classy Atlantic has been running well. A good third. Comes out of the same Glittering Judy race. So if you like the 12, you have to like the 11. You get Fergal Lynch back aboard today for trainer Tom Proctor.
Well, this will be the 3rd time for Tom Proctor. The first 2 times, first time for Tom was a good effort, running 5th, only getting beat a length and a quarter. But in her last start, she ran 3rd and got beat another length and a quarter, and her numbers ascended. She's going in the right direction. So I expect this one to keep moving moving forward for Proctor. Fergal Lynch gets the call, a work since that last race at August 10th up there at Fair Hill. So this one's certainly getting close to running the numbers, but is going in the right direction. So Classy Atlantic could be very dangerous here in today's sixth race.
You have an interesting 12-1 shot in the mix. I didn't use the 10 Alexa Rose. Pimentel and Kelly Rubley are 30% together here in Maryland. So you have a strong jockey-trainer combo here on the 10 Alexa Rose.
And also you've got Kelly Rubley. When she takes one from a route to a sprint, she wins 25% of the time. This will be her fourth start here in this country. She's bred to run on the turf. She's been running some decent races this summer, a couple good works up there at Fair Hill since that last start. And Kelly's just lights out here this summer, winning at 30% here at Laurel Park. And I expect her to this Alexa Rose to run a real positive race here today. Whether it's good enough to win or not, I'm not sure. She looks like she's on the outside looking in, but everything points to a big effort here today for Alexa Rose.
All right, I used the 4, Little Skiff, 12-1 Avery Wisman aboard for Ann Merriman, a 4-year-old filly by Midshipman. She had a sharp maiden special weight win and her third start, her third good start. That was July 11th. I thought she ran okay at this level. Last out, she came 5 wide and just got a little tired. Got beat a couple lengths. Avery knows this filly. He's back aboard today. Maybe he can time the move a little differently. But she, on her A game, I think she might be able to get a piece of it at a decent price.
Well, look, she was hard for me to lay off of, and I eventually went other places. But that was a decent race in her last start. First time against winners, running behind Something Magical and behind Glittering Judy and Classy Atlantic. But she catches the same types of horses here today, minus Something Magical. You get Glittering Judy, you get Classy Atlantic. But look, she tries every time. She never runs a bad race. And even in her last race where she finished 5th, which isn't a great result, she only gets beat 2 lengths for the whole thing. So if she improves a second time against winners, it could put her right there.
All right, so we like some of the same horses there. Race 6, a nice allowance race to kick off the late pick 4. Let's turn the page here. Race 7, one of our features of the day, a nice maiden special weight for 2-year-olds going 5.5 furlongs on the all-along turf course. No rail setting on the all-along. We both like the 7 here, Golden Gary, Trevor McCarthy on this 2-year-old colt by Golden Sense for trainer Jamie Ness. Blinkers go on today. I like that. This horse ran a good second-in debut at Delaware as the favored, and then just kind of regressed a little bit last out late July here at Laurel Park. Stumbled at the start, was checked at the quarter pole, and finished 4th that day. So had some excuses, had a trouble trip. Now the blinkers go on. Third start. They stay at the maiden special weight level. They try the turf for the first time today, and he gets a good outside post. So I'll go with McCarthy on the 7, Golden Gary.
And I like Golden Gary very much today. I love the addition of blinkers. I love the fact that this one's getting onto the grass by Golden Sense, who's by Into Mischief out of a Proud Citizen mare. He should appreciate getting on the grass. I think his last start, that was a decent effort. I mean, he had plenty of trouble and plenty of excuses, as you mentioned, and only gets beat 2.5 lengths for the whole thing for Jamie Ness. Jamie Ness, 41%. While adding blinkers for the first time. We know the damage that McCarthy and Ness can do. So I'm with you. I was back and forth. I ended up going with the first-time starter, the 2 much more than this, for Mike Trombetta by City Zip out of an Unbridled Song mare. Really cut out to get on the grass. Been working well. Good work from the pole in her last start. Good works, 5 ace-mile works, and a good work from the gate. So I'm going to give much more than this. And what I think is a lukewarm maiden special weight. I don't think it's a remarkably tough maiden special weight, so I went with the first-time starter for Trombetta and Victor Carrasco.
Well, you'll get a decent price because the 1's going to take play. The 5, we both like the 5, Creative Plan, 7-2 Morning Line. A homebred here for Barrington Jones and trainer Tom Proctor, a 2-year-old colt by Creative Calls. 3 comes into his debut assignment off 3 consecutive bullet workouts up there at Fair Hill, including from the gate in his last couple of works. You get Weston Hamilton, who's turned into a solid, reliable rider with favorites, getting favorites home. He had a nice 2-win day. last weekend with a nice win on a motion favorite, and came back and knocked me out of the pick six with Naomi. Yeah, Weston Hamilton takes the call here on the 5 creative plan.
Well, Weston's just become a good, solid journeyman rider here after his Eclipse Award-winning apprentice season last year, and it's just so deep here of the riding colony. But you never fear if Weston's on your horse; he's going to give him a good, fair ride. I like Weston on first-time starters. He puts them into the race. He keeps their attention all the time, making sure they're paying attention, because that's the kind of rider he is. He's a busy type of rider. Make sure they're paying attention, and I like that on a first-time starter. Tom Proctor, on the other hand, not so good with his first-time starters, only winning about 3%. I use them. I use them at the bottom of my ticket, but cut out to be a nice horse, and cut out to get on the grass.
All right, so nice maiden special weight there. Race 7 to kick off the final pick 3. We still have the late daily double to get to. Let's take a look here at race 8. We're on the main track going 6 furlongs, claiming 5,003 and up. Haven't won a race in 6 months or never won 4 are the conditions. The favorite here, the morning line favorites, the 4, Spartiatus, coming off the layoff. We both used the 4 in our exacta, but I go with the 11, Cash Exchange, looking for back-to-back wins here for trainer Kieran McGee. A big win last out. Now, that was against claiming 5,000, never won 3 lifetime. A little tougher spot today, never won 4 or A in 6 months, so you can catch some tough horses in this race. But he beat Higher Purpose last out, who would come right back to win. This horse galloped last out. He was in front by 2, turnover home, and won by 5 1/4. Big buyer. You get Rosario Montanez, rider change. Rosario Montanez will ride. I think this horse gets a nice trouble-free trip on the outside. You use him a little bit. I put him on top here, Cash Exchange.
And I think you're right. He will get a nice trip from outside. He's got tactical speed, 2 back. Really wasn't that bad of a race for that 16,000. I mean, look who he ended up getting beat by. Gets beat by Bustoff, who would come back to win. Awesome Sight, who would come back and win. And, of course, he beat a next out winner in his last start in a pretty impressive race, and winning as the favorite pretty easy here. Water gets a little bit deeper here. There's a couple tougher horses, including your morning line favorite, Spartius. And I like my top pick here, the 1 Junction. This will be the 3rd time in Mark Reed's barn. First 2 times in Mark Reed's barn were big, solid efforts, only getting beat a length and a half at this level 2 starts ago, and a neck in his last start. Draws the rail, but has speed and can use it, as he showed in his last start. Correa and Mark Reed. I mean, look, Mark Reed has really done, had a lot to do with the rise of Julio Correa. Has been putting him on some nice horses. You ride nice horses, you learn to ride, and this is exactly what's happened for Correa. So I like Junction a little bit here. I've got him on top. You use them on your ticket for very powerful connections here, Reed and Correa.
All right, so we like the same 4 horses there in race 8. Let's take a look here at race 9. We're back on the turf. We're going a mile on the all-along turf course here in race 9. No rail on the all-along, claiming 16,003 and up. Never won 2 lifetime. We both like the 1. I used the 1 on top. Dixie Draw, I think, is going to get a nice ground-saving trip on the inside with your leading rider, Julio Correa. Only has to carry 115. The lone turf try last May at Delaware against tougher Allowance Company. I think ran a decent race that day. He was bet down about 2-1. Only got beat about, 5 3/4 of a length. 67 buyer. Speed Figure finds an easier spot today. The 1 Dixie Draw gets a drop, and I think it's a nice trip with your leading rider.
I agree with that. That race at Delaware was a pretty good effort. I got beat 5 lengths, but ran a good, solid effort, as you mentioned, against tougher. But not only does this one get relief on the grass, this one gets relief, period. This is the lowest level a Dixie Draw has ever run in his life. So gets back onto the grass, which he didn't despise. He ran a decent race and gets to run at a low level. So Dixie Draw could be very, very tough here under, once again, Julio Correa.
No, I like the 4 Fred House Music. You have him on top. He's getting a drop as well. He ran a monster race on June 2nd at 30-1. He almost won against Starter Allowance Company that day. Maybe he didn't like the good turf course last out. He bounced last out, but he gets easier company today for sure.
No, I think so. I think absolutely so. He's run 3 times on the turf. He's only gotten a firm turf course once in his career, and he fired a lifetime best race that day. Got beat to 3/4 of length. 2 boundary pass. Rule Yourself will come out of that race and win again. He's going to get what I think will be close to firm by the time we get to the 9th race if we get no more precipitation. So I think he's going to get a course that he likes here today. Louis Bautista comes in for Ollie Figgins for the ride, who rode him in that race 2 starts ago here at Laurel Park.
All right, so nice big field on the turf to wrap things up. We like the same 3 horses on top there in the finale. Over 33,000 today in that 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6 carryover. That starts in race 4 on the 9-race program. You can check out Tim's ticket online at laurelpark.com underneath the handicapping section. Nice carryover today in the Pick 6. That starts in race 4. Dave Rodman's coming up next with today's scratches and changes. Good luck.